Hey guys! I thought today that we'd sit down and talk about bank stuff and money matters that are probably going to be really important for you to know about when you go to Australia for the first time. So let's start off with talking about bank accounts. There are four main banks in Australia. You have ANZ, NAB, National Australian Bank, Commonwealth and Westpac. And I've spoken about these before, and in terms of setting up a bank account, I do have a blog post which I'm going to link down below with more info. I'm just going to run through really quickly the very basics of this. So you can set up an account before you even arrive in Australia. With some of the banks, they have a facility to apply online, and if you're in the UK and you want an account with Westpac, you can go into a branch in London and set up the account before you even arrive in the country. I did this and it meant that when I got to Perth, I could go to the nominated bank that I had picked and pick up my debit card. I was all ready to go. So that is an option if you're in the UK and you want to go with Westpac. Alternatively, you can set up an account as soon as you get to Australia. Try and do this within 6 weeks because you will only need your passport as proof of identification if you do it within the first 6 weeks of being there. Go into whichever branch you've picked, whichever bank you've picked, show them your passport and set up a basic bank account. When you're trying to work out which bank to go with, there's loads of things to look at, so check whether they're going to charge you monthly fees. If you can get an account that doesn't charge any fees for a year, that's going to be great. Look at their ATM fees, whether they're linked with any other banks, so whether you can use those other banks' ATMs without being charged. They're all like little bits you want to have a look at. See if they've got superannuation funds that are good attached to your bank account that you could add in as extra as well. If, like myself, you want to set up a bank account before going to Australia, you can actually put money into your account before you get there so that when you pick up your debit card, you're all ready to go and you're not paying horrible conversion fees and card fees on your home bank account. When I looked at transferring money, I knew I could do this through my bank, but there are other ways to do it, and a company I found that was way cheaper than using my bank was called HIFX. I used this company for transferring all my money between Australia and England, and they were really good. This isn't sponsored in any way, it's just a personal viewpoint from my experiences with them, and I will drop a link down in the description if you're interested in that. So there's loads of like jargon in terms of money stuff that will be different to your home country. And the first thing that when you go to buy something in a shop or pay for your hostel that you're going to come across is that cash or EFTPOS? EFTPOS, what the hell is EFTPOS? EFTPOS is basically just card payment. That's all it is. And it stands for Electronic Funds Transfer at Point of Sale. EFTPOS. So that's all they're asking is, are you paying by cash or do you want to pay by card? If you do choose to pay by EFTPOS and you put your debit card into the machine, you're going to find that you're given different options. And this can really throw you. This threw me so much. I'd literally got to Australia, dropped my bags off at the hostel, went to the bank to pick up my debit card, came back to the hostel to check in, and I was paying by card. Put my card in the machine and it's like, check, savings or credit. I don't know, check, savings or credit. I've only got one account. Why are you offering me 3 options? And this really threw me, so that's why I'm going to run through it with you. I don't know everything in real detail on this, but I can tell you some of the basics. So, first of all, if you press the wrong one, it doesn't matter, don't worry. The worst thing that's going to happen is the payment isn't going to go through. With the credit option, it's not like a credit card, you're not borrowing money. It's not like if you press that option by mistake, you're suddenly going to be indebted. Don't worry, the worst thing that will happen is the payment does not go through. So savings, as far as I understand it, is like a general current account. It's your everyday account. So for me personally, when I paid for things with Westpac on my debit card, I always press savings. Check is like a secondary account if you had a sort of savings account or something, as far as I understand it. And credit, I'm not 100% sure on. I am going to link an article I read down below for you that runs into the differences far better than I can. But from what I have understood from having a little look on the internet, if you press credit, it basically gives you a little bit of extra insurance somehow. So if you're doing big purchases, like you were buying a laptop or, you know, a car or whatever, you'd have a little bit more insurance if there was a problem by pressing the credit option. So the main thing to remember when you get asked check savings or credit is don't panic. If you press the wrong one, nothing terrible is going to happen. It's just not going to go through, and you'll very quickly work out which one is the one you need to press for your bank account. Another way you can get around this and not have to worry about it is when you pick up your debit card or you open your bank account, is speak to the people in the bank and say to them, which one should I press, and ask them for the reasons why. And the other sort of money jargon that you might come across is if you're going to pay by card using EFTPOS, is somebody in a restaurant or a shop might say, is PayPass or PayWave okay? And you might think, oh shit, I don't know, is it? What is it? I have no idea. And PayPass or PayWave is just another way of saying contactless card payment. So like other countries, it's just allowing you to tap your card onto the machine without putting your PIN in or anything. So I hope this helps. I know it's not a massive thing, but I know that when you're somewhere new and everything's different, things like this can throw you slightly. So I thought, let's prepare you, let's tell you what to expect, so that when someone says, do you want to pay EFTPOS or is it check savings or credit, you're not going to freak out and panic that something terrible is going to happen if you say yes or no and it's wrong. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have any questions, let me know. Like I said, I am not an expert on the differences between the check savings and credit option. Have a look at that article down there if you want more in-depth info. Until next time, guys, much love, take care, bye! A question that I get asked all of the time, and that question is, will I meet people when I go traveling? Am I going to make friends?